Hi and welcome to the Titanic Brewery Pub in a Box quiz. Hopefully you've got a box of beer. We're going to work our way through it while I ask you 5 rounds of questions from here, sat at headquarters, Titanic Brewery in the middle of Burslem. Sadly not with you, our favourite customers who are normally stood in a bar drinking with us. Hopefully it won't be too long until we're back to normal. But in the meantime, we're going to keep these coming to you to try and give you the atmosphere of a pub. And I'm going to talk you through the beers in your box at the same time as I do the questions. So, without further ado, let's crack on with round 1, potluck. Before we do that, let's have a little look at the beers in the box. First one up, we've got chocolate and vanilla stout. We fancy trying that one with round 1. We'll get it poured into the glass. This is a stunning beer. This is our traditional stout, to which we've added chocolate and vanilla flavouring. Chocolate vanilla was the pudding on the Titanic menu for first class customers, and that's why we brewed it chocolate and vanilla. Thanks to Bob from the Bull's Head for that brilliant idea. So let's get on with round 1. Right, on to potluck then. First round, first question. Question number 1. How many wisdom teeth does the average adult have? How many wisdom teeth does the average adult have? So hopefully you're getting some of those chocolate and vanilla flavours now coming through. You can taste that wonderful beer. I'm going to take a little journey through the beers in between the questions and help you to enjoy them hopefully. So, question 2. On what date is Bastille Day celebrated in France? On what date is Bastille Day celebrated in France? Question 3. According to the proverb, what is 9/10 of the law? According to the proverb, what is 9/10 of the law? This is normally lots more fun in pubs where everybody's sat together enjoying themselves, chatting about the answers. I don't know whether you split into teams at home and whether you're sharing the beer or whether it's just sitting there enjoying it as you go along. Question 4. What does white smoke coming from the Vatican chimney mean? What does white smoke coming from the Vatican chimney mean? So hopefully we got the pace of these questions about right, but of course with it being online you can just back up and listen to any of the questions you want again. Question 5. Which country gives a Christmas tree to Britain every year? Which country gives a Christmas tree to Britain every year? Question 6. Who is the young diary writer in the books by Sue Townsend? Who is the young diary writer in the books by Sue Townsend? So before we go on to question 7, probably time for another beer. Hopefully you've drunk that one. What have we picked up? We picked up the Cherry Dark. We've got a bit of a dark theme going on. So, Cherry Dark, available in cans now, was in 330ml bottles, now in cans. Fabulous beer, it really is, well, what it says on the tin. Question 7. Which American state was named for the wife of Charles I? Which American state was named for the wife of Charles I? But you're all thinking your way through the various states of America to pick out which one it is. Question 8. Which British racing driver has won the most Grand Prix races? Which British racing driver has won the most Grand Prix races? Getting the cherries? Enjoying it? Question 9. What was nicknamed the Tin Lizzie? What was nicknamed the Tin Lizzie? And finally, in question 10. Question 10. What day follows Easter Sunday? What day follows Easter Sunday? So that's the 10 questions in the first round. Pot luck. Normally we'd be sat in one of our wonderful pubs. In the right pub, you might even be getting fed some chip butties or something to keep you going. I'm afraid you're all in charge of that yourselves. We'll do round 2 very shortly. Right, everybody, settle in for round 2. Round 2, which is food and drink. So before we do that, time to grab another beer. Steerage. Steerage, my favourite drink. This is the most wonderful, easy drinking, fit plenty in, enjoyable beer that I have ever had the pleasure to drink. Started out as Best Bitter and then got called Steerage some years ago. If you haven't tried it, it's a must. So on with round 2. At the end of round 2, I'm going to give you the answers to round 1. So the questions for round 2 are as follows. Question 1. Why have cotton when you can have silk? Was used to advertise which chocolate bar? Why have cotton when you can have silk? Was used to advertise which chocolate bar? Problem with steerage is that one is never enough, and you've only got one in your box, but you can order them. You can order them by the case if that's the beer out of the box you like the most. We're using this quiz to do as much cheesy advertising as we possibly can. Question 2. Which beer famously had a blue 5-pointed star on its label? Which beer famously had a blue 5-pointed star on its label? Question 3. Americans call this vegetable an eggplant, but what is it known as in the UK? Americans call this vegetable an eggplant, but what is it known as in the UK? Question 4. Snow peas are an edible pod pea which is eaten whole. Which French-derived word is used as the name generally in the UK? Snow peas are an edible pod pea which is eaten whole. Which French-derived word is used as the name generally in the UK? Rodney. Question 5. Which tea is a Greek yogurt containing cucumber? Which tea is a Greek yogurt containing cucumber? Now it must be time for another beer. The steerage probably all gone by now, so let's have our pick. And what have we got? Oh, cappuccino. Cappuccino stout. Great beer. Does what it says on the bottle again. Full of that creamy cappuccino flavour. Wonderful, wonderful. Really nice if you want to put some chocolate sprinkles on the top. Little amaretto biscuit. Get yourself sorted. Right, on with the quiz. Question 6, and this is a coffee question. Mocha is a coffee usually flavoured with which substance? Mocha is a coffee usually flavoured with which substance? Question 7. Which F is a flat, savoury Italian bread? spelling as well as a quiz. Which F is a flat, savoury Italian bread? You getting the coffee flavours on the cappuccino? Question 8. Which C is a thick fish or seafood soup? Which C is a thick fish or seafood soup? Question 9. What is the main seasoning of goulash, one of the national dishes of Hungary? What is the main seasoning of goulash, one of the national dishes of Hungary? And finally, in the food and drink round, question 10. Literally meaning whirlpool, which German dessert is a thin sheet of rolled up dough baked? Literally meaning whirlpool, which German dessert is a thin sheet of rolled up dough baked? And that's the end of our 10 questions on food and drink. Right, the answers to round 1, let's go. Potluck. The answers were question number 1. 4 is the number of wisdom teeth. 4. Bastille Day is celebrated on July the 14th. That's Bastille Day on July the 14th. Possession. Question 3. Possession is 9/10 of the law. White smoke at the Vatican. Question 4. White smoke at the Vatican means a new pope has been elected. Question 4. A new pope has been elected. Question 5. It's Norway that give us the Christmas tree every year. Question 6. Sue Townsend. Sue Townsend's diarist was Adrian Mole. That's question 6. Adrian Mole. Question 7. Who was it? It was Maryland. Maryland was named after the King's wife. Winner of the most Grand Prix, Jackie Stewart. Jackie Stewart. And the Tin Lizzie, that was a Model T Ford. So question 9, a Model T Ford. And finally, the day after Easter Sunday is Easter Monday. The answers to round 2 on food and drink. First one up, Galaxy Milk Chocolate. Question 2, Blue 5-pointed star, Newcastle Brown Ale. Question 3, the eggplant. That's an aubergine, if you speak the proper language. So eggplant is actually an aubergine. And question 4, mange tout. Mange tout, Rodney. And the Greek yogurt with cucumber, tzatziki. Tzatziki, if you want to check the spelling, it's T-H-A-T-Z-I-K-I. Question 6, no extra points for getting the spelling right, just in case anybody wanted to know. Question 6, mocha is normally made with chocolate as well as coffee. The bread that begins with F, focaccia. Question 7, focaccia. And question 8, the thick seafood or fish soup beginning with C is a chowder. Chowder. Question 9 on the goulash. Goulash, the main ingredient is paprika. Paprika is the answer. And question 10, whirlpool is the direct translation of strudel. Strudel. And onward with round 3. Round 3 on geography. And what are we going to drink with geography? Well, let's have a little look. We've got 2 versions of plum porter. Love to know which one you prefer. Is it the bottle or is it the can? Cans are lighter weight. They're better for the for an environment. Bottles, brown bottles, just work for keeping beer. They always have done and they always will. And they are lightweighted to reduce the amount of fuel we use shipping them about. So, and I think you all know everything there is to know about plum porter. So, on with the geography round. Question 1. What is the name of the longest mountain range in South America? What is the name of the longest mountain range in South America? So the other unfortunate thing is there's no prizes for the quiz, but it is bragging rights in the house. So it's getting as many questions right as you can, beating everybody. Lots of dads who are probably winning, lots of children who aren't, I would think. Question 2. The Clifton Suspension Bridge is most closely associated with which British city? The Clifton Suspension Bridge is associated with which British city? Question 3. On an OS map with a scale of 1 to 25,000, how many inches represent 1 mile? On an OS map with a scale of 1 to 25,000, how many inches represent 1 mile? Question 4. Which English city on the south coast, which features a royal pavilion, was named Britain's happiest place to live in 2015? Just in case you're thinking it's Stoke, it ain't. But we're all happy in Stoke. We all like it here. It's a great place. We haven't got a pavilion, but we have got Titanic Brewery. Question 4. Which English city on the south coast which features a royal pavilion was named Britain's happiest place to live in 2015? Question 5. 50-50 chance. It's a true or false question. True or false? Rutland Water is naturally occurring lake. Rutland Water is a naturally occurring lake. Is that true or false? So, it must be time for another beer. What should we have a look at? Oh, iceberg. Iceberg. Fantastic hops. One of the first beers in the UK to ever have American hops used in it. There was a couple around before us. Roosters, Hopback, but there wasn't very many using American hops when we first used it in Iceberg. And we used Cascade. Cascade is a lovely, lovely citrusy hop. I really enjoy it. Cuts through everything. Fresh. Makes you feel fantastic. Enjoy the Iceberg. Question 6. In which English county might you find the towns of Darwin and Nelson? In which English county might you find the towns of Darwin and Nelson? Question 7. Which cheese is mentioned in the Nick Parks films A Grand Day Out and A Close Shave? Which cheese is mentioned in the Nick Parks films A Grand Day Out and A Close Shave? Question 8. A fabulous place to go. The Tan Hill Inn is famous for being what? The Tan Hill Inn is famous for being what? Question 9. The Great Barrier Reef is located in which sea? The Great Barrier Reef is located in which sea? Enjoying the iceberg? Holding that passing thirst? Question 10. The Hoover Dam is built on the border of Nevada and which other states in America? The Hoover Dam is built on the border of Nevada and which other states in America? That is round 3 of the geography round completed. Round 4 of the quiz. Time for another beer. And what have we got? New one. Rye IPA. I am not a fan of rye in beer. And I told the brewing team that I'm not a fan of rye in beer. And they said, you just taste this and see what you think. Do you know what? They were absolutely right. Well done to Faz, who came up with the recipe, one of our brewers, and Will working with him. They brewed a fabulous beer, really easy drinking, great for this kind of weather. Just got to try it. Right, on with the round. Sports and games. Question 1. How many men contest the men's singles at Wimbledon? How many men contest the men's singles at Wimbledon? That's obviously in the whole tournament, not just in one match. Question 2. Who is the first, and so far, at the time of filming only, person to golf anywhere other than Earth? Question 3. As of 2016, which side has won the Super League title the most times? And that has rugby in brackets. As of 2016, which side has won the Super League title the most times? Question 4. Katie Taylor represented Ireland at the London 2012 Olympic Games and went on to win a gold in what sport? Katie Taylor represented Ireland at the London 2012 Olympic Games and went on to win a gold in what sport? Question 5. The first modern Olympics were held in which year? The first modern Olympics were held in which year? Before we get on to question 6, let's have a look at another beer. It's another can. It's raspberry wheat. Raspberry wheat is a fantastic beer, full of raspberries, full of fruit. So refreshing, perfect in the hot weather. I absolutely love it. Give it a try. Give it a try. Don't forget you can buy the packs from the brewery shop. They can be collected from the various pubs we're doing collections from, which is the Sun, the Royal Exchange, the Roebuck, the Cheshire Cheese and the Old Poets. Right, question 6. Former England opening batsman and semi-pro footballer, this sportsman is better known as a commentator and a raconteur. Former England opening batsman and semi-pro footballer, this sportsman is better known as a commentator and a raconteur. Question 7, does this person wear glasses? Is a typical question in which to play a game. Does this person wear glasses? Is a typical question in which to play a game. Question 8. The phrase back to square one originates or is at least influenced by which board game? The phrase back to square one originates or is at least influenced by which board game? Don't forget, when we do the answers, the Quizmaster's answers are final. If you disagree with them, please write and let Steve at the Sun know. Question 9. Most of us have seen him, but who is Edgar Mallory? Question 9. Most of us have seen him, but who is Edgar Mallory? And finally, question 10 in this round. How many squares run along the length of a Scrabble board? How many squares run along the length of a Scrabble board? Right, answers to round 3, which was geography. The longest chain of mountains in South America is the Andes. And the Clifton Suspension Bridge is Bristol. Question 2. Question 3. 2.5 inches to the mile on a 1 to 25,000 map. Question 3, 2.5 inches to a mile. Question 4, the happiest place in Britain to live is Brighton. Brighton. Rutland Water, false. It was constructed in 1976. And Darwin and Nelson are both in Lancashire. That's question 6, Lancashire. Question 7, the Nick Parks films. Wensleydale is the cheese that's mentioned in both. And the Tan Hill Inn, question 8, is the highest pub in Great Britain at 1,732 feet above sea level. It's the highest pub in Great Britain. Question 9 is the Coral Sea. The Coral Sea. And the other state bordering Nevada on the Hoover Dam is Arizona. Arizona. Right. Answers to round 4, sports and games. How many players are the men's at Wimbledon in the men's singles competition at Wimbledon? It's 128. 128 who start it. Question 2. Who's the only person to have played golf anywhere other than Earth is Alan Shepard, the astronaut who played golf on the moon. The most wins of Super League go to Leeds Rhinos. Leeds Rhinos. And question 4, the answer is boxing. Boxing. Question 5, 1896 was the first modern Olympics. Question 6, David Lloyd, opening batsman and semi-pro footballer, who's better known as a raconteur and a commentator. 7, big sports around this. So are they wearing glasses? Guess who? That's an answer, a question in Guess Who. Question 8, snakes and ladders. Snakes and ladders. Question 9, Officer Edgar Mallory is the name of the policeman on a Monopoly board. Officer Edgar Mallory is the name of the policeman on a Monopoly board. And question 10, squares on a Scrabble board, 15. 15. On to the final round, round 5. Time for the White Star to kick in. Wonderful hops. In fact, we've been playing a little bit with the hops, so it'd be great to get your feedback on this. But I think this is a great beer. 4.5%, lively, golden, refreshing, perfect. Enjoy. So, on with the questions. Hope you're going to enjoy that White Star. So, I am going to mention 10 songs, and I want you to tell me the name of the artist. So, I'm just going to tell you the name of the song. All you need to get the question right is the name of the artist. So, question 1. All for Love. Who had a hit with All for Love? Question 2. Stay Another Day. Stay Another Day. Don't forget, you can rewind if you miss any of the questions, so we don't get the bit of the quiz where I go around asking people which questions they want repeated. It's up to you. You're in control of everything. So, question 3. Things can only get better. Right now, that's the way we all feel. Things can only get better. That'll be when pubs open and we can stand and have a drink together. Question 4. The rhythm of the night. The rhythm of the night. Question 5. Doop. Question 5. Doop. That's spelled D-O-O-P. Right, final beer of the quiz evening, and what have we got? It's the stout. Stout. So when I started brewing at Titanic Brewery, we used to go to pubs. Pubs didn't have decent beer on, and we drank bottled Guinness. That bottled Guinness used to come from various smaller breweries, regional breweries around the UK, and you could tell each one was different. But it was fantastic, and we loved it because it was something we could guarantee we could drink. And what we got here is my copy of that. I was the one who came up with the recipe with it. It's brewed with roast barley, which is just a fantastic thing. So, question 6. I Got You, Babe. I got You Babe. Question 7. Take on Me. Take on Me. Question 8. Question 8 is A View to a Kill. A View to a Kill. Question 9. Axel F. Axel F. Who had a hit with Axel F. And question 10, I think this is a Quizmaster curveball because I know there's more than one answer. And we will accept more than one answer because I know there is more than one answer. Question 10, The Power of Love. The Power of Love. So on to the answers for round 5 on pop music. Just like to point out, you may have noticed I've changed the colour of my shirt, but we did have a bit of an argument with the Quizmaster about the answer to the last question, so I had to refilm this bit. Right, on with the answers. Question 1, Bryan Adams, Rod Stewart and Sting. Question 2, East 17. Question 3, D. Ream. Question 4, very apt right at the moment, this is Corona. Question 5, Dupe. Yes, the title is the same as the artist, it's Dupe. Question 6, UB40 and Chrissie Hynde. Question 7, Aha. Question 8, Duran Duran. Question 9, Axel F was Harold Faltermeyer. And question 10, the Quizmaster's answer was Jennifer Rush. And I pointed out to him that it was also a hit at very similar times but with different songs for Huey Lewis and the News and Frankie Goes to Hollywood. So you can have a point for any of those 3 answers. If you got all 3, you get 3 points. I hope, folks, you've had a great time doing the quiz. You've enjoyed it, you've enjoyed the beer, and that's something that you want to do again. And then we've got the pub in a box here. Or if you want to decide which of the products you like most and order them by the case, don't forget they are available at the shop and for collection at certain of our sites. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Take care, stay safe, and I look forward to having a beer with you very soon.